art gallery open thing, and I met some people. And then after that, I went to this bar, and then
Right.
you hear me by the way.
I hear you.
And then, like, at the bar, it was these three people sitting down, a black guy and these two girls. And I just was like, oh, can I sit with y'all? I'm new here and I don't know nobody. And they said, yeah. Then I chopped it up with them for a little bit. And then their two friends was coming. Their two friends came eventually after me, talking with the group for a while. And there was these two black girls. And, I just said, I was talking to everybody. And then one of the black girls, she asked me if I was single. And then I said, yeah. I asked her, are you single? And then she said, yeah, but she's like bisexual. She leaned more towards women. And then I asked her, do I have a chance with you then? And then she said, depending on what you say, as like a pickup line. But I just spit some game at her or whatever. And then like I was in there, she was feeling me. But I feel like I was being tolerated by the group at a certain point. Not that I had a dislike. I was trying to work the group, because I was just going there to talk to people.
Right.
So I was trying to have everybody, make everybody be cool and stuff. But they wasn't really talking to me that much. The black girl was though. And then they went inside. And then when they went inside, like they was dancing. And then I went inside. I went up to the black girl who was talking to me, and then she like started like pulling on me and dancing on me. Like she was like really, really feeling me, and like we was dancing for a little bit. But when she was like dancing on me, like her friends was like pulling her away sometimes,
Right.
And but she was pulling me back to her, and then I just felt the energy that like her friends was being protective of her because she was like drunk maybe, but like I'd say this is like my first experience as far as meeting somebody random in the wild and then spitting game and having it go this way. And like I'd say the main question that I have is like just what was going on exactly with her friends, because I feel like I don't know if it was cock blocking, being protective, or XYZ, and then how to like handle that.
You were out solo?
Yeah, I was out solo.
How many were in the group?
It was like it was 5 in total.
5. And like what was the venue? Where y'all at?
It was at like art bar. So it was like a bar, but they also had like a dance club inside, and they had food there too.
Okay. So when there's a group, were you just talking to the woman you were interested in?
No, like when I say, because the woman I was interested in, she didn't even come until like probably an hour like after. So I was talking with the whole group. I introduced them to like a little game or whatever. So I like I made sure to talk to everybody and try to get them included. But then when I saw that like I was being more tolerated, it's when I was like, all right, I have to focus on who's actually interested in me. And the only person that was actually interested in me, just even from a talking sense, was the girl who was, so was trying to talk to me. Yeah, the girl. So then, because I saw they was trying to they was pulling her, and then like they was making. Well, one of the guys was like a gay black guy in the group, but he was just making faces and stuff. Even when she asked me if I was single, and I like said my pickup line to her, and he was like making faces, but I ignored them because I knew I just had to focus on her when I seen what was going on. I tried like my best to include the group, and like the girl didn't even come until like an hour after. I was already trying to be solidified with the group, so like I tried to include everybody, but I feel like they all knew each other from work though too. They were all EMTs and like ambulances, so that's how the whole group knew each other too.
Gotcha. So at what point did you notice they were trying to like pull her away from you?
I'd say like even from when I was out, because we was outside the bar at like a table, and like the 3 of them went inside. The girl who I was interested in, and the black guy, and this other girl. They went inside to like go grab something, like to go like get something or XYZ. And then it was me and these 2 other girls, a white girl and another girl. And like they went inside eventually, and then they said they'll be back. But 10 minutes go by, they don't come back. So like I'm like sitting there thinking, should I wait or XYZ? But I go inside just to look, and I see them at the dance floor, and then like I feel like they like left me behind because nobody told me to come. And then like when the girl was dancing with me, that's when I like really knew, because like one of the girls, like when she was dancing on me, one of the girls like pulled her. Like that's like pretty clear, like she pulled her to go dance with her or whatever. But like I was just being I was taking your advice or whatever. Because I was being, even from when the girl asked me if I was single, that's when I knew that's like my ghost sound. I have to be very explicit, XYZ with my intention, like I spit game with her. But I was still feeling from a sense of, like this is like new territory for me, so I don't want to, do anything. And at the end of the day, the girl's like drunk. I'm not trying to be in a bad situation, but I still would have messed with her. But it felt like too much was stacked up against me. And then when the night was over, like it was like she was like out of there. Like I got her number, but it was like everybody like basically like scattered. And then it was like I knew her friends was like her two girlfriends. They was making sure she was like straight as far as like XYZ. So I just knew it was like too much stacked against me to where I had a good time with her and stuff. And I hit her up and I got her number, but it was like I felt like it was too much against me as far as like even the girl knew they was against me, but since she wanted to mess with me so much, she didn't care. But it was like it made it like basically made it like hard mode. Like I didn't have anybody in the group that was like an ally basically, so that's like why it was harder. But I still did good because the girl really liked me.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you should commend yourself on that, right? Like. You did. That was a courageous act. You played it as best as you could have, bro. How much time elapsed? Like,
it was for like because I pulled up the bar like 9, so from like 9 to like 11:30, close to midnight, basically. So yeah, I was there for a good minute. When and the girl didn't even come until like 10:30, probably 10:30. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I just was there vibing, and then I feel like I did good. Yeah, I just think the odds were again. I just think, from my intuition, I just feel like they was being protective of her and like was worried that she was just wilding out because she was drunk. But
was she drunk? Is that the vibe you got?
She wasn't like sloppy drunk. She was the most extroverted person in the group. Like even from when she sat down or whatever, and like she was saying stuff to me at first, but it wasn't like she was saying as soon as she sat down. She was like, "Oh, like you from?" I showed out where I'm from. Like, she was like, "Oh, that mean I could come back to you, and we could be like friends and stuff." But I didn't know if it was like a sign or not. So I was just having regular conversation with her until like when she asked me if I was single. That's when I knew I have to like escalate, and then I would have escalated more. But I felt like since her friends was being protective, that it would have been like a lose-lose situation. So like as far as like it just would have been too hard. So like even when she was dancing with me, like she was like manhandling me basically, like she really liked me, and she was like fine too. But I felt like as far as like escalation, because I mean just even from how I look at it, just when I was going into it, when I seen what was happening, I know now for sure that like when situations like that at the bar or even like a club, the only time you have to like escalate, because the only time you got is like there and then. Because if I hit her up today, but she couldn't like not be feeling me or XYZ, it was just like a drunk thing or just met at the bar or club. So I knew that I had to like escalate it, but I felt like I couldn't escalate it as far as fully, because it was like too much odds stacked against me. But I still handled it the best I could.
Yeah, sound like it. So I mean, you texted her afterwards?
Yeah, I texted her the next day, and I was like, I texted her like, yeah, I had a good time seeing you. Trying to go to let's go to happy hour. Cause I'm leaving. I told her like the night before, but I should have planned something while I was with her. But I told her last night that I was only here till Sunday. And she was like, "I bet." Like she'll try to see me. So I just gotta see. But anyway,
so you text. Hold on, you doing a lot of talking.
No, sorry.
So you're good. So you text her and did she respond?
Nah, not yet. Like,
how long ago did you text her?
Like at 11, like in the afternoon.
Okay, so it's like a year, a year. What the hell I'm talking about? An hour and a half ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, give her some time to respond. I mean, she may not, just because it sounded like she was under the influence. So her friends were likely being protective because they probably noticed she was under the influence, right?
Yeah. So
understandable. You do. Danny, do you want to come up?
Okay.
Danny might have something to say to you as well. But it's hard with like night game, man, because it's like you have to really control the momentum. Like I don't really do night game. I never have, because I'm not a club guy. I understand how it works conceptually though. But you got to really control the momentum. You can't like let the other person dictate the momentum or the group. So like you did the first part well, which was you tried to win the entire group over instead of beelining to the one you were interested in. Had she not been drunk, I mean, or under the influence, this probably would have changed a couple of things. One, she probably wouldn't have been so aggressive with like showing that she likes you.
Yeah.
That was probably due to the alcohol. Her friends probably perceived that and then decided to step in, right? So you would have to have like been able to take initiative and escalate without such overt signaling. And I don't really think there's any other way you could have played it, to be honest with you. Like being alone and trying to control the momentum of a group. Like if you get a number, you know, you talk to a woman who's under the influence, she's a whole different person when she's stone cold sober. So the version of her that you texted today probably is not the same person that you met last night.
Yeah. So like I'm not expecting nothing, but it's just I'm just
Were you drinking too?
Yeah, I was drinking, okay. But I don't get that. Like I'm only a social drinker, so I wasn't. Right. Like I always, especially if I don't know people, I like to be aware. So I was a little drunk, like 3-4 out of 10. But right. I was like very aware, especially. I was just there just to vibe and talk with people. Never been here before. Right. And then when I just took your advice from the last thing, just about.
That's good though. I mean, listen, many people wouldn't have executed at all in that situation. Now, I would like to see what you do when the signs aren't so overt though.
Yeah, that's my problem, because like even with what she was saying when she asked me about going back home in my suitcase, I didn't like do anything with that because it wasn't overt enough. But I could have, right. But I don't think my cautious trait or whatever.
If I had to nitpick anything, it would be when she told you she was bi or whatever. You said something like, "Well, do I have a chance?" I would stop any framing that subcommunicates you're trying to win over the other person's approval.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't ever frame yourself as the person being like, I'm trying to show you I'm good enough.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the only thing that I would like nitpick here, right? You could do everything perfectly and still end up in the same situation. That's just how shit. That's life. But you don't want to make like easily avoidable mistakes that just completely shoot you in the foot. But I don't know if Danny has something to say as well. What's up, Danny?
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, dude?
Yeah, it can be tough gaming the group, especially if they're bigger. You trying is a good sign. Normally, when I used to do more nightlife stuff, I probably aim for pairs and trios and make sure I'm not biting off more than I can chew, because you really do have to win the group or win the room in those situations, especially if they're people you're just meeting.
Yeah, like I was trying to do a lot. I did a lot, and it still wasn't enough. So
right.
I mean, you can have a good game, but sometimes you put yourself in matchups that just aren't going to work. Not much you could do about that, but at least you tried. It's good practice.
That's why guys go out with groups, man. The whole concept of the wing, you know what I mean? Occupies the other ones.
Yeah, if I was out with my brother, like we already got a strategy. Like he would have been playing like defense, like distraction on like the other people, but it was just me. So I was like
yeah.
You basically
especially in nightlife settings, a lot of those friends are going to naturally play defense, especially if no one's talking to them.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that old trope of single friends keep their friends single. It's the same way with approaches and stuff.
Yeah, actually, the main girl who was actually doing the blocking, she I think she was just feeling sad about something, like a guy. Like she was feeling sad about her love life, and I was trying to help her with it too. Like the group was trying to help her, so I was trying to help her. But I think I don't know, his game. Like if I can't be happy, I'm gonna
You know what? If I were you, I would like. It just occurred to me. I've never done this. I'm just thinking like from first principles. So you win the group, but don't just win the group for that moment. Win the group for like perpetuity. So instead of just getting her number, get everybody's number.
Yeah,
add everybody on IG, because you're future proofing. Like especially if you see the writing on the wall, like this shit ain't gonna go my way. and you still want to connect with her, you already know if you just get her contact information, she probably not gonna respond due to like maybe some shame around like the previous night or just lack of memory.
Yeah.
Now you got a indirect play, which is you go through the friend.
Yeah, that's a good strategy because I'd say it was two against me, but there were two that were neutral to me, and there was one that was the most positive. The other black girl was the most. She was like almost ally to me because the other black girl, she said like explicitly when I was trying to win over the group, whenever I was there, she was like, oh, like hey, typo, like what's up? Because he was like, oh, nobody in the group really talking to you, so I'm trying to talk to you, just conversation wise. So I feel like she like even noticed the energy that I noticed too, as far as like me just being tolerated, and like I'd say it was two against me, the gay guy and the white girl. And then there was two that was new.
Why were they against you?
I don't know. The gay guy, he was just like weird. Like, I mean, I talk with him and stuff, but like
What'd you say to him?
He just like ignored. Like whenever I tried to talk, but he just like was talking over me. It was like he was talking to the two people that were against me, the gay guy and the white girl. They were talking to each other about topics, and when I tried to talk, he would talk over me, like ignore me. But he would act like he's cool with me, and like.
What did you say to him though?
I just like had regular conversation like with everybody. Just asked him, when I came, just, where he's from, what he do for work, blah blah blah. But it wasn't really like I'm trying to think about anything specific. It just wasn't any like he seemed like he had like if he didn't like me, it would have been like apparent. Like, but he like was neutral to positive to me, but I don't think he liked me for his friend or something like the girl.
Was he drinking?
Yeah, he was like drinking, so he was like he was just saying stuff like he was calling like other gay people like slurs and stuff as they walked past. He was just saying whatever came to his mind. Like he was trying to take his shirt off like twice, talking about like fighting people. Like, he was just like.
Yeah.
He just was like,
we don't want that. But the trick dealing with drunk people is just match their energy.
Yeah.
You gotta match their energy. No matter, it doesn't matter what you say. It's a vibe thing with them. So like when people are drunk, if they're talking to you like this, you talk to them like that. It don't matter what you're talking about. And once you meet them on their energy, now you're just part of the tribe. But that's just something to keep you.
Your nonverbal game. How are you with your nonverbals?
Like what's that?
Showing interest without saying it overtly, flirting with your eyes, things like that. How good are you with that?
I'm kind of bad. I don't know. Like I had to learn.
Definitely a skill you want to work on. What I used to do before I even started cold approaching is I had a deck of Uno cards, right? So what I would do to practice is I would go to the social districts in Charlotte, on like South End and stuff. I would just walk up the groups and ask to play Uno, and then I would just get to know the group.
Ooh, that's
usually what I would do is if there's a girl I'm interested in or if I notice some attention, I just stuck to nonverbals with her while just socializing with the group in a friendly manner. I collected the Instagrams or whatever socials, and then you can tell who's interested in you afterwards because they'll start liking your shit. You like that, and then just slide in the DMs and handle business on the back end. But when you're in those situations, just win the crowd. Just be a social. And that's how I played it when I was practicing that approach.
Yeah, that's smart. Thanks for telling me that because I could work on that. Yeah,
100%. There's tons of way to do it, man. It's like experiment with Danny's method. But like the meta point though is like you got to win that group over.
Yeah, for sure.
You got to win that group.
Appreciate y'all advice a lot. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem, man.
All right. Keep us posted. I know you going back out there hunting, so let me know how it goes. All right.
Yeah, I'm going back out tonight. All right.
My man. All right. Y'all got it with that night game shit. I've never been a night game person. I took a client out one time, bro, just to show him how it works. And I was like, I'm gonna show you how this. I don't like doing this shit. But I'm gonna show you how it works. Like, watch this. Watch how people change once I go around the room and work the room. So I went around the room, worked the room, and then people who were kind of neutral, like he was saying, just completely like turned on and were like, coming at me, right? And I'm like, that's how you do it. You have to win the venue. You got to win the venue, or you just are so clearly attractive that it's less necessary.
Yeah, night game for me is a lot like math. I don't like doing it, but I don't regret learning it either. It's useful to have. I think I practiced it a lot to work through my social anxieties and stuff, but it pays dividends whether you're on dating apps, social media game, or even just going into
Yeah.
warm settings like social events.
100%. I think it's the hardest type of game.
Absolutely.
Especially if you're like the conversationalist type, like that's me. I'm more of conversationalist. So night game takes away my biggest asset, which is my ability to talk to people. So it will be like it will handicap me in a sense. It's really just vibes, man. Two situations when I realized how important vibe was. Experimenting with just a little bit of night game, and then also dating women who spoke broken English. And that's when I was like, oh, vibe really is incredibly important. Because, like, my hands are tied behind my back here, but I have to, like, nonverbal communication, self-communication, all that kind of stuff, like, is incredibly, tonality, all that stuff is incredibly important. But if you can get good at night game, to your point, it makes everything else easier. If you can do night game, it's like, that's socializing on hard mode. Because you're talking to people who are in different states. Some are sober, some are drunk, some are on coke. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's a mixed bag. And if you can be more stimulating than a guy on coke, you really know what you're doing. Right? Like, if a woman prefers to talk to you over, like, the Chad who's, like, high out of his mind, then it's like, okay, you probably have really a strong foothold on this socialization thing.
Yeah, absolutely. If people can enjoy their time with you sober, you're doing something right.
Yeah, a guy who I first learned socializing from, Owen Cook, like, he always recommends, like, he's like a night game guy. He always recommend, like, going out sober. He's like, don't drink, like, go out sober. And I get his point. I'm drinking, though. I would never do night game sober. Absolutely not, because I can't. Because, like, I heard somebody say with neurodivergent people, when they drink, they feel like more of themselves.
I know for me, I mean, it definitely softens you. Like, it kind of numbs the angst. That being said, I've learned to be more comfortable with it without drinking. But if you want a little piece of advice, something I learned is more people would say yes to me if I was holding some sort of drink than when I wasn't. So even if you hold like a glass of water, you'll get more yeses than nos. It's a little piece of data I picked up on with all my reps.
I think that's also like tribalism.
Yeah.
You're perceived as part of the in crowd because you're doing what they do. But I'm drinking though. If I'm in an environment where the drinks are flowing, like I drink so rarely as it is. That was like a couple of year, like 2 years, where the only time I had a sip of alcohol was in a dating contest. So it's like, if I'm in that environment, I'm 100% drinking something. I don't care. I think to that guy's point, though, you don't want that to be a crutch. You don't want it to be where you have to drink, otherwise you cannot socialize with anyone. I've noticed like a little hack with socializing is however you show up is how you're going to remain. So whenever I enter in like a room and the intention is to socialize, I try to immediately establish myself as a very social person.
Yeah, usually what I do is, if I'm at any kind of social event, I just make it an effort to say hi to everyone. Like, I'll just go around the room, introduce myself, even if it's for like a brief second, and then, worst case, you can be like, I'm going to go meet everyone else, I'll talk to you later.
Right.
You can always do that, but making the effort to at least greet everyone is a really good warm-up.
Right.
If you feel like you're kind of slow to start socially.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. That's how I do it, man. But
Yeah.
what you got going
I'll
on?
let you get some other calls here. I just wanted to pop up get my 2 cents on the night game. And if anyone's interested in the Dallas trip, add and DM me. I will send you a form. We're doing a raffle at the end of June. Mark and the mods are going to Dallas to get together, and we have a few spots open.
Yes, remember, we're doing the raffle for the Dallas trip. We got an Airbnb there. You do have to pay your way. This is not like you get a free trip. Saying the price is right in this bitch. No, this is just, we have some extra space. If you would like to come, you got to pay for it. However, the rules are, if you're interested, you have to be following Danny and then message Danny. And then on top of that, He'll have a form for you to fill out in order to be approved. It's going to be a raffle, like a random drawing. People who have paid for a coaching call get 3 entries. People who have paid for an implementation package after their coaching call get another 3 entries. Okay? So that's how that works. If you would like your 1-hour coaching call, that icon right there, hit that button below. Shoot me a message. I'll ask you about your situation. If I feel like you're a good fit, I'll send you a link to book your call. All right? So that's where we are with it. Make sure to follow Danny if you want to come on the Dallas trip. All right, brother. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Okay, what other callers do we have? Let me see here. I wasn't even supposed to go live right now. My son and nephew are extremely tired for all the walking we just did. We're checking out the monuments in DC, and they got like hella stuff blocked off, man. So we had to walk way more than I anticipated. Way more. They all a little sus. Who's a little sus? Oh, the people in there.
Hi, good evening.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm okay, how are you?
Good, good. What can I do for you?
Come again?
What can I do for you? There we go. I knew as soon as she said come again, I said either Danny or CJ is about to take Shorty down right now. This is not matchmaking, people. This is not matchmaking. What made you think that's what this was? Not matchmaking at all. This is for if you have any questions about dating and relationships. So only request up if you have any questions pertaining to dating and relationships. And if you do, you can hit the button at the bottom of the screen with the blue and pink person. You hit that, I'll see your name pop up. I'll let you come up and you can ask your question. I'll give you an answer, okay? Guaranteed solution to your problem. Guaranteed solution. Satisfaction guaranteed. Hold on. I don't like what he just commented, so I gotta take him down. No matchmaking, no speed dating. Right. You would think people would just read the room. If they missed the header, which is clear as day up top, you would think they would also read the room, and they don't do either. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
So, am I toxic if I go to a social setting and I'm interested in a guy and
Chance, use
I
the bathroom
count
in
his
there?
drinks?
Close the bathroom door, please. I'm sorry, say it again.
So, I'm saying, like, if I'm in a social situation and I'm interested in someone and maybe I'm just chilling out looking at that man from afar, am I toxic for counting his drinks on how I make my decision?
Counting his drinks for what?
To see how many he has.
Is this someone you're just meeting?
No, not so. Somebody I'm thinking about or somebody that I'm interested and they're in a social setting. And the first thing I do is I count how many drinks they're having
For what
and
point?
how frequently they're drinking.
Okay. And what data is that giving you?
Maybe he's a drunk.
By counting how many drinks he has out? Like, what's the contest? You're just out at a bar?
Any kind of social setting where there's alcohol involved. If
Okay.
I'm looking and I think I might be interested, I see how much they're drinking. Are they drinking 4 drinks an hour? Are they drinking 2 drinks an hour? Can they hold their liquor? Is that toxic?
Why are you so sensitive to the alcohol aspect?
Because I don't like drunk guys.
Why are you going in
I don't
environments? Why are you going in environments where alcohol is flowing? Then wouldn't it be better for you to go to
Well,
environments where
because-
alcohol isn't flowing if you don't like alcohol like that?
No, I don't like alcoholics. I don't mind a social drink. But are you drinking 8 drinks an hour? Are you stumbling out of the bar? I always try to count how many they're drinking. It's probably toxic, right?
I don't think it's toxic. I think that is suboptimal. If I were you, I
Hold on,
wouldn't
hold on,
go.
hold on. I don't know what suboptimal means. I'm not familiar with that. What does that mean?
Meaning it's not the best approach.
Oh, what would be the best approach?
Okay. Are you drunk right now?
No, sir, I don't drink.
Okay. All right. So the best approach would be to avoid environments where alcohol is flowing. Promise you, you will run into non-alcoholics there. I promise you, if you're counting how many drinks someone has, you have bigger problem. You have bigger fish to fry because you're probably a buzzkill. You're probably not fun to be around. Like if I'm talking to you and you're doing mental math about how many drinks, you're not present in the conversation. So I can tell you're not fun to talk to. So that's going to be a bigger issue than you run into alcoholics. It's going to be, this woman isn't interesting to talk to or fun or enjoyable. She has her calculator out right now in the spreadsheet, counting people's drinks in here. So I'm probably going to exit stage left.
That probably wouldn't be the alcoholic, would it?
Nope.
Okay, then thanks a lot for your help, sir.
No problem. You know, when you do lives like this, it's very interesting the personalities you run into. Very, very interesting. What are we talking about? What are you counting people's drinks for? And that doesn't guarantee that the person is an alcoholic either. That's not how that works. Chance, stop smacking, buddy. Sound like cattle over there. Chew with your mouth closed. Okay. Should be more worried about your toddler and what he's drinking. Yeah, count. I've never heard that before. Some people are not wound too tight. I'll tell you that much. All right. What other questions do we have? I don't like anybody in the queue right now. I don't like anybody. Not a soul. Hold on, we'll see. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Actually, I wanted to comment to the question that the lady was asking regarding counting the alcohol. I don't know if I stand a chance to comment.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because like, why go after a guy who's drinking whilst you know that you're not drinking?
Yeah, that's what I said.
I understand, because at the end of the day, his happiness and freedom is entitled to his freedom and choices.
Okay.
So going for a guy who's drinking while else she's not drinking is going to be a major problem.
Right.
At the end of the day, she's going to be controlling.
Chance, I'll tell you. Go ahead.
She won't be able to admire.
Thank you. Okay. You got I normally don't take comments, but at least make it a good one. Why are you regurgitating what I said? What the hell are we doing? Leave an insightful comment. You just basically said he has free will. No shit. Yes, we know that. Tell us something we do not know. Sorry. My apologies. I got patience for this shit right now. I'm not supposed to be live. I'm only live because we need a little breather here in the hotel. But yes, very weird thing to do to not want someone who has a drinking problem but only open to meet people where drinks are flowing. What are we doing? What are we doing? Anyway, do we have any good questions? Interesting questions. Let me see. Isaac said goofy Saturdays. Goofy Saturdays indeed, man. It'd be funny when you hear people who just want to hear themselves talk.
Hey, how are you?
Great, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. So hopefully this was a good question.
Hope so.
What's the difference between a man that is actually interested in you versus somebody that just enjoys your attention?
Someone who's interested in you and someone who just enjoys your attention.
Yeah, because I've run into the latter more than the first.
Okay, so describe the person who just enjoys your attention. What was that experience like?
Let me see. So, in the pursuit of getting my number, they'll, let it be known that they're interested in me, want to take me out. And then when I finally gave them my number, the conversation was dry. It was boring. So, I left them alone. I love good conversation. And once I left them alone for a while, then they are kind of lurking to see, who I'm talking to on TikTok or when I'm going on lives and things of that nature. And then they'll pop in and, every now and then I'll, respond, hey, what's up, what's going on? Or, respond to a video they send or things of that nature. And then it goes dry again. So I'll just block them. But I don't know how you can really avoid that situation, but if it's a way to tell, how can you tell?
Okay. And what was the context where you met those gentlemen?
Social media.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
You can't really tell. Basically, what you're asking is like, how can you discern somebody's intention?
Okay.
And the only way you can is through observing their behavior over time.
Right.
Right? Because a guy who's interested in you would also probably engage you in the same way. The difference with him is his energy is going to stay consistent. Right?
Okay, and that makes sense. The thing is I've spoken to guys that had great energy. We've had great conversation. Some guys we've even spoken on the phone for hours, and it wasn't me leading in the conversation; it was them. Mm-hmm. And then that would be it, or the last conversation. And it's just like, why are you here? Who sent you?
And was this also with social media?
Some with social media, some in person. I'm gonna be honest. I think guys are nervous about approaching me in person. Mm-hmm. I don't get it. I dress pretty nice. I smell amazing. I'm chilling, laid back, nonchalant. So, well, not nonchalant. I'm very chalant, but I'm chilling at the same time. So I have more guys approach me on social media than in person. And in person, I get more stares and like shy smiles than more approaches. So gotcha. I don't know anything.
So I don't think that's a unique you situation. I think that there's just a downswing with in-person approaches in general, considering that it's just easier to hop on a dating app or talk to someone on social media. Right? You don't have to deal with the sense of rejection. I will also say that, and I'm not saying this is the case, but this is an additional variable. Sometimes the guy just doesn't like you anymore.
Okay.
Like some women think like there are sometimes situations where a guy will sleep with a woman and then soon after that his energy will be different. Now a lot of those times it's because his goal was just to sleep with you. But sometimes they just don't like you anymore, right? They don't really like you anymore. The only thing that made him like you was the fact that he hadn't slept with you yet. And now that he can, it's just post-nut clarity, right? It's like, now I can see you clearly. And I'm like, oh, okay, I actually was ignoring these red flags or these annoying tendencies this person has because I was so physically attracted to them. Now that we got that out the way, I can see them with clarity. I don't really like them like that, right? Like what you were describing with, or they're juggling a couple of different women. That's also true, right? So I'm just explaining like all the different variables that can be going on. Someone who's shooting on social media is probably shooting at a lot of people.
Right.
So like on a dating app, I remember when I was active on dating apps, right? When I was unhealed and I was just out here just doing shit for the plot. Matched with a lot of women, all of which I probably had some degree of physical attraction for. But once I crossed the threshold of there being too many, some who I had genuine interest in, I just stopped talking to, because I just don't have the bandwidth to talk to all of you. So they probably were like in the same mental space as you're in, like, did I say something wrong or this person just playing with me? It's like, not really. It's just I don't have the bandwidth because I just got 8 matches out of nowhere and I can't possibly talk to all these people, and a new person is more interesting than the person I've already been talking to. You know what I mean? That's why I tell y'all I get on dating apps and stuff like that, because it's that's the environment you're entering into. It's hard to win in that environment. It's hard to win in that environment. Even with guys, like they'll be talking to a woman, and maybe things are going great. Maybe they've been on a couple of dates, and then her perfect type matches with her. Perfect, got the Chipotle bag, tattoos on them, and everything like that, right? 6'2", perfect type matches with her. So she like you, but she want to see what he talking about. Now he's a fuck boy. He just trying to get in and get out, but she gonna want to see what's up, right? So it's the worst environment to invest your energy into.
Cool. So,
But I don't think it's just your vibe right now because you have good energy. I can tell. I don't think it's somebody getting bored with you. I think if anything, it's just the person probably just has other options that just came through the pipeline at the same time.
okay. Weird question. So, how does abstinence play in that?
Are you abstaining?
Yes.
Okay. Is that being communicated?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Well, then that's 100% your answer.
What is it?
That's 100. You should have led with that. That's 100% your answer. What? Hey, nothing will stop sentences from coming your way, like telling someone you were abstinent. They're like, well, let me go ahead and get up out of here. There goes my mama. Let me head on out.
Not the mama.
head
I mean,
on
I'll
out.
say that, and they'll still want to, linger around and linger around. It's just like, okay, just go.
Right.
Just go away. But they'll still linger,
Right.
But
I think
then
they'll
the
linger
lingering
because
is
they've
waste of time.
heard that. As someone who's also heard that before, sometimes it's not. Or they just don't want to end things abruptly and make it and create like the impression that that's all they were after, right? So maybe they give you a couple of more conversations just to kind of ease out of it, But yeah,
Okay.
that ain't like I tell people. You listen. You either have to, if you're abstaining, you either have to find somebody who is already abstaining, or find someone who's like probably on the fence with it, and they like you so much they'll do it for you.
Okay.
You're not gonna take nobody worldly and then just make them abstain.
Right.
It's just not gonna happen. So it needs to be either someone who's like conflicted on it, like maybe they want to do it, but like, can I? And then they come across a woman who they like so much, they're like, okay, for that person, I'll do it. Or they need to already be doing it.
Gotcha.
Someone shooting in your DMs is probably not. It's probably not that person.
Yeah, absolutely not.
For sure.
Cool. This was insightful.
Yeah, give that a try, love. Good. Start trying to meet guys like in person. I don't know if you're like new to this live, but like I always talk about static environments where you see the same people over and over again. When you put yourself in those places, it's easier to meet people like platonically and romantically. That's why it was so easy to meet people romantically when you were in school, because you get to see the same person over and over again. So I would put yourself in those environments, but then also be intentional about the type of environment, because it can act as a filtering mechanism for certain qualities. What I mean by that is, let's say you want a Christian man, right? Someone who actually tries to be a man of God, okay? Not someone who just has a Bible verse in their bio. But if you talk to them, you would never even assume they were religious, right?
Right.
Okay, well, a static environment you may find a person like that in is maybe like volunteer type of communities, right? Volunteer organizations that are like Christian leaning. Like your regular everyday Christians probably not volunteering their time. They're probably just as narcissistic as anyone else in the West. But someone who's actually giving their time to help people, okay, well, they're probably living closely to Christian tenets, Christian values. Digital communities also work as static environments. I'm all about like being in person, but like there's digital communities where like this live right here is technically a static environment, considering that there's a core group of people who come up here every time in the chat. And you can start building like fellowshipping with people in the chat and building connections that way, which may lead to like an in-person meet, right? So static environments are the best place to go. Like, so for example, this live selects for people who have more healthy orientations to dating. That doesn't mean they're healthy. It means either they are or they have a desire to move in that direction. Even if they may be a little toxic right now, they want to get better at this. They want to move in a healthier way. Those are the only people who would be in this live and like stay here day after day after day. So like this live selects for those traits. So you can find people like that here. Make sense?
That makes sense.
Yeah, just apply that thought process to every place that you position yourself. Let the environment itself select for the traits that you're optimizing for.
I like that. This was awesome. Thank you for your help.
No problem, love. Best of luck to you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. All right. Great distinction. Desire is there. Practice working on it. Right. I only say that because I've been there. When with med school, that's why I was abstaining. I was abstaining with her before, and I wanted to, but didn't think. I was like conflicted on it, and she wanted to. I was like, okay, yeah, sure, no problemo. Because in my head, I'm marrying you anyway, so it's like, let's do it. That's how I know that's actually a thing. So I don't want to be like, oh, you can't, like somebody won't do it for you. It's like, no, people will. It just needs to be someone who kind of like sees the value in it and maybe wants to, they're just not there yet. And then you're just the catalyst for making that occur. You're like bringing them closer to God from that perspective, right? I'm still not there. Listen, man, you meet someone that's like that for real. Especially after you've been out here in the dating market for a while and you see what the majority of the options look like, and you come across somebody where it's like, oh, you're firing on different, like you're firing on all cylinders. Yeah. You might say, let's go for it. But here's the thing, though. For all my abstainers out there, the goal with that is you got to get married fast. I don't say you have to get married fast. But usually, you have Christians who are abstaining. They're not just in a relationship for 2, 3, 4 years. We're talking like a year, 2 tops. Like if I was going to do that, year tops. Let's go. Dun, 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 dun. Let's do it. Let's do it. They're not like just waiting. No, they do their thing, go on dates, all that kind of stuff, and then you get on that knee. Get on that knee real quick. So when you look at it from that perspective, it ain't that bad. Now, if you were looking at it like, I gotta like just put my meat in the safe for 3 years and not use it. All right. Not doing that. I can't let my meat atrophy. What they say, if you don't use it, you lose it. I ain't trying to lose no girth, baby. So we can't have that. Let me see. All right. Who we got calling in? See what Annie has to say. Hello? Hello? Okay. Annie, are you okay? Are you okay? Annie? All right. All right. Let me see. What do you think about long distance relationships? They're cool, man. They can work. They can work. You just gotta be intentional about it. Just gotta really be intentional about it. So you gotta see. I thought you said, Annie, are you okay? It is what I said. You gotta be intentional about it. You have to be able to see each other frequently enough to make it work, right? And that's like depends on the person. Everybody's different, right? And when you actually do get into the relationship, you're on the clock, meaning you gotta close the gap within. I would advise a year, between a year and a year and a half. Close the gap. You can't just perpetually stay in this place where y'all are long distance and then don't close the gap. It's just not going. Danny and Bobby are fools, but I agree with the decision. I don't know if you saw me buffering for a minute. I took a second to buffer. Hold on. Had to process shit real quick. But you both have my blessing. You both have my blessing. That's all I'm saying. Does age matter for you in a relationship? Does age matter? I mean, to a point. I abide by the half your age plus 7 rule, typically. Dating advice for short men. You gotta grow up, bro. You gotta grow up. You gotta grow up. Your age is not as big of a deal as you may think it is. Depending on how short you are. I mean, your height. It's not your age. Your height isn't as big of a deal as you probably think it is. To a point. There is a threshold that you cross where it's like, okay, I think that threshold is like 5'4". As a man, once you get around 5'4", it's like, okay, because you a Teddy Graham at that point. It's not. You can still make it work. He said you just red pill. I didn't red pill. You can still make it work. You can still make it work, but it's like really. It's more about the insecurities that you have. I promise you. Think of it like this. Most women, even the ones who claim like, oh, I'll never date someone that short. If you could magically see all the men they've dealt with, I promise you, you'll see somebody like you in there. I promise you there's a short king somewhere in there. I promise you there is. I used to say like that would heal a lot of men's insecurities if they could magically see some of the men who their crushes have dealt with. Right? You can magically see. You can magically see. You would be surprised. You would be surprised. You might be turned off a little bit. 5'4" is too short. Man, chill out. You like, what, 5? Ain't you 5'4"? You not trying to be eye to eye? You want to look up? That's what you want to do? What if he was 5'4" and he been in the gym? He got his shit right. Okay, so Mad says she's not going. I don't know about that. She says she's not going if y'all 5'4". Normally, but one thing, she brings up a point though. One thing you do got to make sure if you are short like that, you can't not have muscle mass on you. You got to take advantage of those Teddy Graham genetics, because when your limbs are short like that, you can get wide easier. If you look at a Teddy Graham like in the gym training, their limbs get big easier. Their shoulders pop out easier, right? Bob, how tall are you? You're not 5'4". You're not 5'4". The tall dudes, it's hard for them to like bulk up because their limbs are so long. Shorter guys, like, it's easier to add on muscle mass. So like you just want to at least, if you can't go like vertical, go like do width. Go width. That's the best advice. But you cannot be like a guy who's 5'6". Bobby said height reveal in Dallas. Shit. Madison, we also taking the Dallas trip. Just in case you're trying to swing through. You gotta message Danny though if you're trying to come through. We got an Airbnb in Dallas. Hold on. Chill out on the 5'6" guys. What you mean? You gotta be in the gym. You in the gym, right, Grizzly? In your profile pic, aren't you in the gym? Yeah. So you just gotta make sure you got some muscle mass on you, bro. You good. You good. But I would say the vast majority of women don't care like that, bro. I promise you. I've been told by women that like they only date guys 6 feet. And then I dated them. It wasn't even a big deal. As long as they feeling the way they want to feel in your presence, that's the main thing to focus on. Y'all focus too much on what people say. What they say don't mean shit. Like, always look at yourself as like you're the exception to the rule. With everything, not just when it comes to dating, just with everything, bro. Every aspect of life, look at yourself as the exception to the rule. It's a very empowering belief for you to hold. You have to be at least their height. I done seen a lot of, I've dated women taller than me. I told y'all I'd be on my tippy toes. You get certain positions don't work when there's like that height disparity. So there's been times I've had to be on my tippy toes. I told y'all last night I was a ballerina in the bedroom sometimes. Playing a nutcracker. Strong ass tippy toes. Sometimes you gotta do it. Strong calf muscles. Sometimes you gotta do that. Whatever gets the job done, facts. You might gotta be butt naked with some Timbs on, baby. You ever did that? Huh? YouTube? Butt naked with Timbs? I have. You need an extra inch or two. Buddy said yoga blocks. Butt naked with Timbs, no socks. No socks. You gotta do what you gotta do. That's all I'm gonna say. You gotta do what you gotta do. The canned Merc. Platform Crocs, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Gotta do what you gotta do, baby. But yeah, them tall joints, you get them tall joints. They be open to it. I feel like taller women are more open to it than like average height women, in my experience. Taller women are more open to like, maybe because they kind of have to be, considering they're so tall. And then taller men tend to prefer like smaller women for some reason. I don't know why, but if you look at my track record, it's been like above average height women. Usually. My ex was like 5'8". 5'8" and a half. Jump thrust guy. I was, wow, you a gymnast. You just gotta do a pull up on the ceiling fan real quick and start swinging that bit. Yeah, it's definitely like that. Yeah. That's what I've noticed. So if you guys look, you shorter out there, go ahead and get you a tall joint. It just makes you look better because it's like, how he pull her? How did he pull Shorty? There's like a limit to like height for me though, in terms of women I'm going after. Over 6 feet can't do it. Over 6 feet. I almost dated a chick who was 6'2". I can't do that. That's Dwayne Wade. I can't date Dwayne Wade. All right. Ooh, yeah, baby. It's good, ain't it? My son's smacking on Cheetos right now. You like climbing? No, I'm chilling. Yeah, I can't do Dwayne Wade. Nah, D-Wade 6'4". Thought they'd be lying a little bit with them stats. All right, so we got any more callers. Any more callers? Let's see what Jenny talking about. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you, Coach.
Good, good. What can I do for you?
Can you hear me?
I can. What can I do for you?
Well, my story is quite complicated, so I will try to summarize as much as possible.
Sure.
I am at a very low point in my life, and I need guidance to see how to get myself out of this. I lost my husband about 2 years ago.
Ooh, sorry to hear that.
To cancer. And thank you. And soon after that, I went into house renovation, moving. My whole life changed. And I had my parents with me, but after that they had to leave. I don't live in my country, I live abroad. I'm from the Middle East and I live in Greece. So after they left, I found myself extremely lonely. And 8 months after his passing, I decided to check dating apps.
Okay.
It was the biggest mistake of my life. And now that I hear you talk about it, I wish I had... I wish I had TikTok back then. I wish I listened to you. Because it's the biggest mistake anyone can make, honestly. I met a guy. I had zero experience before my husband. I never dated. He was the first guy in my life. And I really liked this guy. He was very consistent. He was texting me every day, multiple times a day. We had calls. He showed a lot of interest. 2 weeks after chatting, we met. We went out for coffee once. And after that, we were meeting at my place. And every time I would ask, why are we meeting at my place? Why aren't we going out? He would tell me that his schedule is very busy. He's a police officer and he works with as a security for politicians. So he's always on the road. And his schedule changes. And the excuse was that he is waiting for the chance to have a day off so we can do something together. This lasted for about 8 months of us just seeing each other at night. To be honest with you, it was very comforting because I was feeling extremely lost. I have no family here. I'm all by myself. I have only my daughter, my young daughter. And I found it very comforting to have someone to talk to. We had a lot of things in common. We have a lot of hobbies in common. It's not just the physical part. He was, in my opinion, very attractive. And since you were discussing height a while ago, it's the first guy that I was ever attracted to that's taller than me. And it is a big deal when you're a tall girl to finally see someone whom it takes a lot of your boxes, let's say. I noticed that he wasn't off the app and I asked him. And he told me he doesn't speak to anybody. But when he's ready to remove the apps, he will. And I tried to be patient, and because we come from different cultures, I tried to be understanding. I didn't want to push anyone away just because I didn't understand the culture, or I didn't want to force him or limit his freedom.
Right.
But it was making me more anxious as time passed by. I was becoming more attached to him and very anxious. I got to a point where he called me one day and I asked me how I was doing, and I was feeling extremely bad. And I told him I feel like my heart was going to leave my chest. This is all I said, because I was very, very tense. So he got very upset, called me the same night, and broke up with me over the phone. just out of the blue, just like that.
Right.
It was the worst time of my life. I don't know how I survived it. I really thought I was going to die. And he said I could call him and talk like as friends anytime I wanted, and that, nothing changed there. Of course, I didn't call him. I decided to go no contact. I decided to try to get myself out of this situation. Mm-hmm. And I did it for 6 weeks. During the 6 weeks, he contacted me twice. I texted back very briefly, and I ended the conversation in a couple of sentences. But during at the end of those 6 weeks, I really felt really bad, very low, very down. I didn't know who to talk to. I don't have much friends here. Just a few, and they have their families. They don't have time for me. I don't speak the language. I work from home. I'm all day at home. My daughter is away at school. When she comes back, she has her things to do. I mean, I'm so lonely. So I reached out to him. The moment I did, we reconnected, and I saw him again. And it's been now 11 months since the beginning of it all. 11 months. He still calls me. He's still in contact, but I'm still very anxious. He keeps telling me that he's not seeing anyone else, he's not talking to anybody else, but I just can't get this anxiety out. I have spoken to a therapist. I tried. I lasted only 1 month, twice a week, and I saw no progress, honestly. I read everything I could read online, everything about anxious attachment, everything about avoidance, everything about the different techniques to calm your anxiety, how to find hobbies, how to get out of, the house, do anything. I can't even look at anybody else. I can't even imagine myself looking at anyone else. I don't want to connect with anyone else. I don't want to find another boyfriend. I don't want anything. I just want things to work out between me and him, or for things to end and for me to be able to get out of this. I really don't know what to do. I ran out of ideas. I ran out of things to do, and I can't keep repeating the same thing. Nobody knows about him, only my sister, who doesn't live with me. Only my sister, and everybody else thinks that I'm going through ups and downs because of the passing of my husband, which happened. It was true, but I got over that pretty quickly. I feel horrible for saying this, but this relationship, this situationship, I heard that it's called situationship.
Hold on 1 second.
Is worse than my...
Hold on. How long were you married?
18 years.
How old are you?
46.
Okay. How long ago did your husband pass?
Sorry?
How long ago did your husband pass?
1 year and 9 months.
Okay. And how long ago did you meet this new guy?
11 months.
Okay. Okay. And
my husband passed in October. I met him in July.
How did you meet the new guy? You said a date night, right?
Dating out, yes.
So, were you living in this country with your husband, your previous husband?
Yes.
Okay.
This is why I came to this country. It's because of my husband's work.
Okay. And where are you originally from?
Lebanon.
Going back isn't in the cards?
No, not yet.
Why not
I'm
yet?
working on getting citizenship.
Okay.
I want to get my citizenship here.
You want to get your citizenship where you're currently located?
Yes.
Why?
I live in Greece.
Why do you want to get citizenship in Greece?
Because it's better for my daughter's future.
Okay.
And mine.
Okay, so you're going to build a life in Greece. All right. So what is preventing you from connecting with other people in Greece?
My language is very limited.
Okay. Have you been working on that?
Yes, but it's not easy because every time I get to a certain level, the problem is I don't speak to anybody. I'm at home all day.
Yeah, well, we got to stop.
I'm working from home, so...
Yeah, that's your problem. We got to stop doing that. Here's the issue. Your husband passed, and you moved on very quickly because you're not used to being outside of a relationship of some sort. You probably don't even know who you are outside of having some sort of romantic connection, right? So you moved on very quickly and met this new guy. This new guy replaced the void that your husband left. The reason why you can't leave him, yes, partially due to your anxious attachment, but also because what are you going to replace him with? Even if you were to end this relationship, what are you going to, right? What does your world consist of? A bunch of nothingness. Because you haven't worked on building a life, an independent life in this new country, right?
Actually, I've never had an independent life anywhere. I moved
Right.
from my parents' house to my husband's one.
Exactly. So that's why
house.
that's why you're so fixated in making this relationship work. Because you don't know, you're terrified of life without having somebody.
I am
Right. So we have to get you in a place where it's not so
terrified
terrifying.
and very lonely.
Right. So
And
we have
it
to we have to
scares me
get
because
you.
I have a child.
Understand that. But that's where we have to get you to that place. We have to get you to that place where you can start building a life independently. Like if you say that you want your citizenship because this will be better for your daughter, okay, fine. I won't argue that. But if you're going to be committed to staying in this place, you have to actually build a life here. That includes building out a social network, people who you know outside of a romantic context.
Yes, I agree.
Right. So you start slow. You don't have to build it overnight. You just have to start taking baby steps in that direction. So I would advise for you to see if you can meet people who are maybe from, also aren't originally from Greece. You can go on Facebook groups, see if there's any kind of groups of people who are in Greece who are foreigners, and connect that way. I promise you're not the only one there in your current circumstance. There's other people there who are probably in similar situations to you, and I would start with connecting with them, while also learning more of the language so you can connect with more of the locals. Go ahead.
I agree with you 100%. I do have some friends, but
Okay.
the main problem is that they are all busy with their families. Nobody has time to do one-on-one, and even if they did, I don't know why I feel this way. I mean, I think the problem is me. It's not just the lack of connections. Why do I feel like I need someone in my life? Why can't I be okay on my own?
Because you're not used to it, and you're afraid.
How do I get there?
You have to actually do it. There's not a magical solution here. You have to do it. Like if somebody was afraid of heights, they're like, "How can I get over this?" All right, well, let's take the elevator up. The only way that you can integrate a fear, overcome the fear, is facing it. There's literally no other way. Now you don't have to jump into the pool head first, right? You can take baby steps with that. But you are going to have to cultivate some degree of independence here. Okay, you're going to have to wean yourself out off of this connection and start building more social connections there, right? You're going to have to spend some intentional days by yourself and maybe not talk to anybody and see. A big part of this is probably you never really finished the cycle of grieving your husband, more than likely. When people move on really quickly, part of it is they don't want to feel the bad feelings associated with the person they just lost. So they bury themselves in another individual. And it helps bypass that grief. But the grief didn't go anywhere. It's still there. Maybe part...
Yes, it's not the solution to replace one person with another, that's for sure.
Exactly. You need to actually feel all the feelings associated with the person that you lost. And you have to create the space to feel those feelings. You know, you're just in somebody's face the entire time or fixated on, a new person, you're not going to feel those feelings. Part of you probably knows that, which is why you're avoiding this isolation. Which is understandable. It's scary. But that doesn't change the fact that it's something that you have to do. Because what you don't want is for your daughter to learn this type of dependence because she's watching you. You don't want her to also play into this type of cycle once she gets old enough to start having her own romantic experiences.
Yes,
Right.
it's very hard because nobody knows, and I can't speak to anyone about this.
Right.
I mean, during that breakup of 6 weeks, I was dying. I was honestly dying. I didn't know how I survived I was sleeping. I wasn't getting out of bed. I don't have a reason to get out of bed. Every morning, even now, I struggle to get out of bed because I see no purpose, there's no purpose. And I'm so ashamed to tell you that it was the pain of losing my husband of 18 years was much less than the pain of losing this guy in a situationship, which it probably means nothing to him, but for me, it's like the only time I have peace of mind.
Right. Because it's not even about...
Yes, Nicole, I might be depressed. I think I could be depressed, yes.
Yeah, because it's not about the person. It's about, like, what he represents. He's serving a very important function for you. It's one, to make you not feel alone. Two, to bypass grief. So it's like, without him there, you're going to have to feel all those things you don't want to feel. So, like, I need him to be here. Right? It's not about him. I promise this person is not that special to you. It's activated by him. So... that's the solution, love. It's like a very difficult experience for you to be in, but you're going to have to start building a life there. And part of that entails you figuring out who you are outside of a romantic connection. You look at it like it's an adventure. Like, okay, who is Jenny outside of being a wife and outside of being a mother? Who is she? Void of any kind of romantic connection.
I don't know. I asked myself this question and I don't know. The funny thing, now that you've all heard my story, my friends consider me the stone, the rock. Everybody comes to me for solutions. They think I'm indestructible, the strong one in the group.
Right.
Nobody knows what I'm going through. Nobody knows how I'm so disappointed with myself. I never imagined I could be so brittle, so emotionally weak. How can I be good at everything else and collapse like this?
Because you're a human.
Just because of a guy.
Yeah, you're human. This is more complicated. Like I just said, this is more complicated than this person. This is just where you're focusing all your emotional energy. It's not about this person. You swap him out with another person, you feel the same way.
No, I thought about it. I really did. Because I did have a lot of people interested in me, which is also weird. I don't know how people think like that. But I can't even look at anyone else. I don't want to look at anyone else.
Yeah, because you're attached.
I don't do things like I can't, this dating multiple people at the same time, not focusing on one. I don't know how people do that.
I understand that. But again, it's because you're already attached to this one. You're the baby duck who was just hatched, and the first thing you saw imprinted on you, and now you're following it around. That's what you're doing right now. It's the first person that was attached to you. You don't know any better. 100%. So it's not that this person is that great. It's just that you had the perfect chemical cocktail of grief and all these other things going on, that you needed a target to kind of anchor you. And he served that purpose. And now you amplified it in your head and trying to keep him in your life. You're attached to the story that you've attached to him, what he symbolically represents. You're not attached to him. This person is not special.
Thank you.
Okay?
Yes.
All right. So there's a lot more we can unpack, love. If you wanna book a coaching call, you could just shoot me a DM. For the rest of you in the chat as well. There's a lot more to unpack here. I can't do everything in the live though. We'll be talking for another hour. Okay, but if you want a coaching call, just shoot me a DM and we can really go deeper than that. But I promise you, this person is not as special as you think they are. It's just you have a lot of emotional entanglements that are happening simultaneously that is creating this chaos in your life. But there is a pathway through it though. Promise you that. Okay?
Thank you very much, Coach. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
No problem, dear. Take care.
Have a lovely evening. You too.
Any of you people who want to reach out to her and, just connect with her digitally, free to do so. What else we got? You are not alone in feeling this way. Things to improve. Facts. Heard somebody say the other day, don't judge a season while you're still in it. Which is facts. Once you get out of the season, you can reflect on the season and be like, okay, I can see what purpose that served. But while you in it, don't judge it. Don't judge it. That's the wrong thing to do, for sure. For sure. So you laugh now? Boy. I know when I first started this business, I was going through it. You hear me? Through it. Through it. Good now, though, but through it. But everything serves a purpose. Say life happens for you, not to you, right? That's a good mentality to keep. Life happens for you, not to you. You gotta ask yourself, the worst thing that happened to you, how was it probably the best thing that happened to you? The way your brain is wired, if you ask it a question, it gives you an answer. The problem is a lot of people ask bad questions. Something Tony Robbins talks about, right? So a lot of people ask questions like, why me? Why did this happen? Okay, well, your brain is going to give you an answer. So if you know your brain's going to give you an answer, it doesn't matter if it's true or not. It's going to give you an answer, right? Ask it better questions. How did this experience serve me? How can I leverage this experience? How can I make the most out of this? Ask yourself more empowering questions, and your brain has to give you an answer. That's the worldly answer. The Christian answer is pray about it. Read the word and talk to God. Build that intimacy, because God is close to the brokenhearted, right? That's the Christian answer. From my perspective, that's the real answer. All my clients aren't Christian, so I have to give them worldly answers, like, psychological type shit, right? Both can work together, sure. Facts. Okay, no more calls, though. You mind if I go? Okay, I'll take you, Jay, because you said that you have a quick one. Where you at? One of the fellas. Okay, I'm glad. Last call. What's going on, bro?
Yes, sir. How you going, man?
Good, bro. How about yourself?
Having me up.
Absolutely, bro. What can I do for you, man?
So it's just real quick. So I got a lady. She's been great to me. We've been together 2 years. The topic is money, right? Mm-hmm. So she's not a gold digger or nothing like that. So I didn't mind. So the problem right now is once I graduated college, I got a job out of college as an engineer, and I had to move states. And she's also getting her doctorates in dental. Mm-hmm. So she's in Howard, and I had to move to Oklahoma. So we've been doing long distance. We've been making it work. Been real nice. So the thing is, I was trying to figure out when I got out of college how I'm gonna make this move to Oklahoma, because it's expensive. Moving anywhere out the state is expensive.
Right. So
I personally had about $3,500 saved up, and I went to go visit my girl in DC. That was her first year, first semester in her schooling. And I told her, I'm like, yeah, I'm thinking about getting, a little sofa, bringing my bed from home, and then I still got to get all the extra stuff and pay rent and all that for the first month. And she just got a scholarship of like $42,000 for the first year. Mm-hmm. So never in my mind clicked that, like, oh, hey, let's use each other. My mindset was, let me make this happen, or let me try to ask my parents, or, I told her, like, I want to get it on my own, so I don't want to use anyone else. I didn't want to bring my parents into it. So she basically gave me the opportunity to say, hey, I give you $5,000 and, just pay it back to me. So I was like, cool. Went on, after I got my job, we started going on trips, vacations. I'm coming to see her on her birthday. I spent a good amount on her birthday. Before I got my job, she had like a loan on her credit card that she needed to pay off $700. paid that off for her. You know, like I'm taking care of her too. So it's like it's not a one-sided thing. And we just went on a cruise, like at least $3,000, you know, all inclusive, everything together. You know, she pitched in like $800 on it, and we just got back. We had a little fallout a couple days ago, and the fallout was something super dumb. But basically, in the midst of the argument, you know, when you feel like your nerve gets struck, you say something apprehensive, something that you don't really mean. And that's what she did. She was like, well, I don't know why I even bought you that $5,000, that money, woo-de-woo. Like, I should have never done that, this and that. And I said, in my head, I'm like, that was the first thing you was waiting on if we had any type of argument was to bring up money when I've done so much for you. Like, in my eyes, my question is, we done made up and, you know, got back good. She apologized, said she, you know, overreacted and shouldn't have, you know, tried to strike a nerve. Because I said something like, I'm going to be honest, on my end, I wasn't, you know, perfect when I said something. When the argument was so dumb, I told her in the midst of, because I was listening to her, you know, but she started speaking over me because she, you know, lost her nerves, and she basically was talking over me. So I said, you know, I don't deserve this. Like, you starting to act a little masculine in this conversation. I don't appreciate that. I feel disrespected. And she just kind of ran with it. And that's when she brought up the money and this and that. So we made up. So my question is, should I go ahead and, because she wanted to just do away with it. Like, she said, okay, well, I see you in my future. I see you in my life. Like, we didn't spend way more than that $5,000 that you didn't gave me. And you didn't, you know, looked out for me in many ways. So my main thing is, should I still look to pay that off, or just go through life regularly? Like, you know what I'm saying, I just paid $200 for her nails just recently, her nails and
You're saying should you pay the money back?
Yeah, should I keep paying it back? Because it's like she held that over my head. But at the end of the day, she told me just last week, like, I see you in my life, I see you in my future. Like, don't scratch the money. Like, don't worry about that.
No, I'll pay the money back.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Because it's like that's a void that's gonna always like be held over in any conversation, I feel like.
Yeah, it's just honoring the original agreement, and then just like, if you know she's the type that might bring something up to throw in your face, one, you should pay it back just because it's what y'all agreed to. Two, you know she's the type to throw shit in your face, so you might as well. What she told you about don't worry about the money was a representation of her mood.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking too.
That's just that you have to understand. That's how the feminine operates. It's very present moment. Like, the big mistake that men tend to make with women, generally speaking, is they tend to treat them like they would treat like men, from a more masculine place. So a lot of guys like, well, she said this. It's like, so guys get mad about, well, she was lying. Like, well, she wasn't lying. What she was saying was a reflection of how she felt at the moment. So she meant it when she said it. And then now she's in a different state, right? So when she told you not to pay the money back, she meant it. That was a reflection of how she felt at the time. Best believe, though, when them feelings change, and she get mad, she's already shown you, that's going to come back up. So you got to have your own principles. That's the meta lesson here. You're judging it off of, like, from a place of being reactive. Like, should you or shouldn't you? Wrong question. Right question is, what do your principles dictate that you should do?
That's deep. I like that.
Right? So if you're someone who honors your word, it don't matter what she says. You honor your word, so you can go ahead and do it.
Gotcha. Yeah, cause I'm like, and this is just in the span of like 6 months. I didn't pay back $2,500 or $2,600 already, and that's where my stopping point was, because we just went on a cruise, and you know, my birthday coming up and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's. But yeah, I'm glad you. So I should kind of just put like like bigger activities on hold just to get that squared away, or just
Whatever you need to do to pay it back. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, that's real. That's real. I appreciate that.
No problem, brother.
Go ahead and get that situated.
My man. I wish you the best of luck, bro, all right?
Appreciate that.
Hopefully the fellas was listening about like the whole principle argument. That just really clarifies things, right? He said, ain't no little money either, right? Five G's, hell no. I need that. As a rule, I don't lend any money that I would be missing if it wasn't given back to me. Like I've had friends ask for bread before. I always look at it as a gift. Like, here you go. You pay me back, you pay me back. If you don't, you know how many relationships are ruined? Like even platonic relationships are ruined over like money. Because people will lend you money and then like when you don't pay it back, they feel some type of way. To avoid that, I'm like, I will only lend an amount I ain't gonna miss. Here you go. That ain't 5 G's either. You're not getting 5 G's from me. It's not happening. Not right now. Maybe a year from now. Not right now. G's crazy. They disappear as soon as they receive the money. Not people in my life. My friends are like, Keanu, you crazy. They're normally good for it. They're normally men of good character. So they would pay it back, but hell no. Mark calendar for you from today. I'm not lending none of y'all no money, all right? None of you. Someone asked me for some bread not too long ago. I'm like, huh? All right, here you go. I had a friend give me 3 G's when I was down on hard times. Then he asked for it. He just like, he got real nice with crypto. He like, what's your Coinbase wallet? Avery, Chance, you're making too much noise. He like, what's your Coinbase wallet? I sent him the shit. He was like, go ahead and take that. I'm like, my man. But he mentioned he has some money saved up. Right. Yeah, when I view it as a gift as well. I don't expect it back fast. That's the healthiest way to go about it. Just don't expect it back. Just go ahead and give it. This is yours. If you get it back, cool. But not, it's all good. Did you pay it back? Nah, that shit was a gift. Hell no, I ain't pay that back. It won't framed like that. It was framed as like, here, you have this. If I asked for it, I would pay it back. I won't ask for a situation. He just knew my situation at the time. He was like, I got something for you. Needed that too. Needed that. For real. That was a few years back. It's good to have good people in your life. What's up, Pink? Okay, what kind of last minute questions do we got before these kids get rowdy? You already see them getting started. You already see them getting started. Chance, tell them to be quiet. Let me hold a little 5K real quick. 5K is no thank you. No thank you. And the most I probably lent out was like 500. That was a gift. That's my max for like anything beyond that. Can't do it. Cannot do it, brother. Get somebody else to do it. You have to catch the replay. Well, I am streaming this one, so that works. From my laptop with me, so yeah, you can catch the replay. I'm live on YouTube right now. Link in bio for that. The name on YouTube is at the Signal Dating. 5K, we need to write a contract, right? He did say his nephew was bad. Not this one. It's his younger brother. That's BAD. BAD. He's like 3. Chance, how old is Cannon?
Huh?
How old is Cannon?
3?
He's 3? Okay, yeah, he's 3. That's the bad one. That's the bad one. for you. Still waiting. Yep, Chance and Cannon are the names of my nephews. My son's name is Avery. He's over there right now. He's the one that wanted to come here to see the monuments. He likes history. Not bad learning and testing the waters. No, I hear you. Beautifully flawed. He's BAD though. That's a bad little boy. But I think that his headstrong nature and general disagreeable tendencies will serve him well as an adult, as just as a kid. It's gonna be quite the challenge. Quite the challenge. Quite the challenge. How often do you do lives? Daily. I might be live again tonight. I haven't decided yet. So went live last night at 8. Probably will go live tonight again at 8. So definitely come back. Follow if you're new here, for sure. Also, if you are having dating or relationship problems, you're spiraling, don't know if you should leave or stay, or don't know, need clarity over your situation, don't know what to do. Somebody's trying to spin the block on you. Should you allow them? Should you leave this relationship? Is it something I could work on? And if so, what do I do? You want clarity and an action plan, simple steps to follow to help improve your situation. You should book a 1-hour coaching call. This icon right here, there's a button that looks like it at the bottom of the screen. Hit that, shoot me a message. I'm gonna ask you about your situation. If you are a good fit, I don't take on everybody, but if you are a good fit, I will send you a link to book your call, okay? With that being said, people, I'm gonna go ahead and head on out. We got a few more things to do before it gets too late. So book a 1-hour coaching call, stream. The stream is on YouTube, so if you wanna watch the replay of that, link in bio for YouTube. Appreciate the mob, appreciate the chat. I will see you all tonight. Y'all take care.